Play a 5-minute game, knight c3. I go knight f6. Interesting move. d4, d5, we get the reversed Jobava-like structure. Alright. So be careful, because we're playing a reverse Jobava. He has a knight b5 idea, and be careful of that. In fact, I'm already a little bit worried about this. As always in Jobava. Like my favorite opening, but when you play against it. e6, I already need to be careful. Knight b5. Yeah, if I want to avoid all of that, I always go a6. It's fine. So now there's no Jobava knight going to b5 and c7. And this is an okay position. I think black is fine here. Actually, I don't really usually play the Jobava from the black side, but I just want to try it for fun. Knight e5. One idea is f3 and g4 in the Jobava, so be careful of that. e3. Now he already wants some g4. So one way to avoid that is to go h6, and after g4, go bishop h7. Here, I could trade or I could not trade. Let's trade, just to get the bishop out of the way. I could also have maybe just left the bishop there. Now c5 is a reasonable move. Bishop e7 also reasonable. Yeah, go c5. Just put pressure on the center. When you're playing against Jobava, it's pretty essential to play moves that are fast, kind of in terms of development. Playing against a Jobava is never easy. Never. Yeah. If I go here, that. So if I go knight c6, probably takes, get a good center. e5. Suppose knight d7 is what I'm going to play, followed by bishop c5 and castles. c5 is another option to me. Then queen a4. I don't quite like that, so I'm just going to go bishop e7. Takes, take here. So now I think I'm starting to be more confident in my position. I don't fear that. Queen a4, queen d7, I can recapture with the knight. I really don't fear this position. In fact, I think black has good prospects for attacking down the c file and the b file. Rook there. Doesn't concern me too much. Probably want some of this. But I don't think that's a big deal. He has threatening bishop takes h6 because the rook is pinning my pawn. So all I have to do is move out of the way. That should solve my problems. So navigating a tricky opening, but afterwards should be pretty good. Really be pretty good, I think. It's really passive. And that's not something I fear. Bishop c3. Some rooks coming here and here. Okay, first I want the rook to go here. I guess he wants to trade, but maybe I don't want to trade. Maybe I can go like h4, okay. Maybe he wants h5. I don't really fear h5. Just want to maybe double. Attacking that. I want to trade that knight. And I want to push d4 and attack him. I feel like my position is quite active. Will actually be better here. d4. I don't see any reason not to go there. And maybe h5, fixing the pawns and dark squares, getting ready for the endgame, because now my bishop can attack. f4. I really don't fear that. I'm going to go h5, fixing the pawns. Because in the endgame, I can go attack these pawns with my dark square bishop. It's better to have my pawns and light squares. Yeah, his position is quite loose. Saw a4, but I'm not concerned about it. Maybe he wants this, but I just don't fear that. I want to put my king on the best square, because in the endgame you want to activate your king. So I'm going to go king f5. Okay, king f5. Happy to put my king here. I don't think it's dangerous. I just need to watch out for this. g5. Okay, I have a free pawn if I want it. But then he's going to go rook h3. I don't know if I want that. I don't know if I want that. First I'll go here, and then now I'm threatening. h4. Okay. So I can grab that now, it's free. Okay, that doesn't do anything. I'm going to go back. Now I'm just going to trade everything and win. There's more attackers than defenders on the square. See here, there were 4 attackers and there's only 3 defenders. Go here, hold everything, cut off the king. The next step is like that. Okay, go here, push my pawns. Yeah, I don't think there's any saving that pawn. Go here and just push. Should be a relatively cleanly winning game. The game is over. I'm going to do a ladder checkmate. Good game. Good game. Fun game. Because I'm playing the Jobava London from the other side. And this is my favorite opening. I'm playing against my favorite opening. And okay, so knight c3 is a very flexible and interesting move. Not a standard move. Most people play e4, play d4, play knight f3. Knight c3 is not standard. So I play knight f6, also not standard. e4, I was planning to play d6 because I played the perk. And after d4, d6, some bishop e3, bishop g7, queen d2, and bishop h6. there was some, I had some plans for something like this. Queen e7, and we get a cool perk defense. But he did not play e4, he played d4, so he played knight f3 first, but the main move is bishop f4, which is the Jobava London. But knight f3, not as good in my opinion, because it blocks the pawn on f3, because in a lot of lines in the Jobava, you want to play f3, g4, h4. For example, e6, sample line, there's g4, h4, and already my bishop is feeling the pressure. See that, practically speaking, black is under some pressure here. For example, h5, g5, knight d7. If you don't play h6 or h5, you just make a random move. Bishop gets trapped. So already some pressure there, I think. So knight f3 is not accurate. In that sense, it blocks the f-pawn. Goes against the principles of the Jobava London. So already I'm feeling happy after knight f3, bishop f5. So bishop f4, play to a6 to stop any knight b5s. And knight e5, e6, e3. Idea could be g4, h4. So I need to be really careful. For example, if I play a random move, already g4, h4. And this is one of the key ideas in Jobava London to trap the bishop. So if I go here, there's f3, and then if I go here, it's h5, for example. I'm losing a piece. So, and also, if I go h6, the knight can take my bishop, ruining my pawn structure. And after, say, bishop d3, queen d3, if the bishop wants to go here, for example, the queen is already hitting my pawn. The only way to defend it is playing king f7, and you can see my pawn structure gets wrecked here. Castle, queen d7, bishop h3 or some g5, and white is just winning here. So I'm already pretty wary of that. That's why I play h6, so that my bishop doesn't get trapped. Bishop d3, maybe a little bit basic, and I guess what I mean to say is I can just trade and black has an easy position. Maybe slightly more challenging, as practically, is g4. I think g4 is more like what a Jobava London player would play like this. Dangerous. This looks dangerous, and definitely is dangerous. I just need to develop fast. Knight b7, c5. Say c5, g5, hg, hg. But already dangerous. I need to find this move that, yeah, using the concept that rooks are opposing each other. It's hard to see that, so it's already dangerous. If I don't find that move, already lost. If I go knight b7, g5, I can at least go knight e4. See that this looks kind of okay-ish, but still dangerous because white can do something like sacrifice the pawn. If I take it, then I'm up a pawn, but my bishop is locked out, and white has a big clump of these attacking forces, and I'm not developed. It looks kind of dicey for me. So I think bishop d3 is really not the most challenging move, so I was happy to see it. Now I can play normally, and I can take advantage of the fact that I haven't moved my knight in front of my pawn yet, so I play c5, exerting pressure on the center. One of the main downsides of the Jobava is that when you put your knight on c3, you're blocking the potential to use the c-pawn as a lever. But in this case, because I haven't committed my knight, I have the option of c5, and I'm happy to use it to destabilize white's center. So e4, interesting move. Not the most accurate. After some trades, I didn't fear e5 to go here. I can go bishop c5 and castle easily. The e-pawn also blocks the bishop, and I can also go c5, d4, I can go rook b8 now that the bishop is blocked, so I'd interfere e5 in this case. Castles, takes, queen a4, queen d7, takes, and king h7. Already, because of black's central pawns, black is much better. And you can see that I'm stacking my rooks and aiming the bishop at the c pawn, and now I can go d4, probably should have played that. But the ultimate goal is to use all this pressure and use the pin on the king to break with d4. So d4, black is better. So I played h5 here because in the endgame, I want all my pawns on light squares, and I want all the enemy's pawns on dark squares. So I'm fixing this pawn on h4 on a dark square because my bishop is on a dark square. So if I fix it, it can always be attacked. And also the opponent's bishop is a dark square bishop, so if I put all my pawns on light squares, they can never be attacked. So that's why I played that. Now a4, king g6, and rook g3. I think it's just a spy check. Doesn't really do anything. g6, okay. It's hard to play. I think after this, the opponent simply collapsed. And there's really nothing to be done here. Once I get this, I just move my king and my rook. First defend the pawn, then trade the rooks. And with so much extra material, do a ladder checkmate. And that's the game.